So we have a new interview to discuss surrounding the situation of Christopher Nolan's future studio. Now, a few months ago, it was reported that the director may be splitting up with Warner Brothers, and in the last few days, one of the Netflix executives has come out and discussed the possibility of a relationship between the studio and Christopher Nolan. Multiple subscribers have also asked me to cover this interview and give my overall thoughts on the whole situation. But before I get into it, if you want to see more updates and videos on the work of directors like Nolan, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like rating. But without further ado, let's dive into this newest interview and the current situation of Christopher Nolan's next studio. So over the last few days, an article on the Wall Street Journal has been released, and it states that Christopher Nolan has had conversations with Netflix about potentially working together. The article contains a new interview with Scott Stuber, the head of original films at Netflix, and he sat down to discuss their status of being the most nominated studio for Academy Awards in recent times. Stuber was asked if some filmmakers are still hesitant to make films for the company, and he acknowledged that global distribution is still important to many, including of course Christopher Nolan. He said, "I think there are aspects of global distribution in the cinema that are still appealing. Chris Nolan and I have spoken quite a bit, and that's still something he wants deeply." He concluded, stating that if we can't provide that, it will still be an issue for him. "I think we have a model that works, and we've done well with the theatres that have played us. As these things change, we're all having these conversations to see where it all lands and what the landscape on the other side of all of this is." We obviously know that Netflix have been doing some theatrical runs that go for 4 weeks ahead of a streaming debut on the service, and Nolan is one of the strongest directing advocates for the theatre-going experience. His previously recorded stance on Netflix a couple of years ago included the director saying that Netflix has a bizarre aversion to supporting theatrical films. They have this mindless policy of everything having to be simultaneously streamed and released, which is obviously an untenable model for theatrical presentation. So they're not even getting in the game, and I think they're missing a huge opportunity. He also pointed out that Amazon, which releases its movies in theatres before making them available on its platform, shouldn't be lumped with Netflix for contributing this issue. You can see that Amazon is very clearly happy to not make that same mistake. The theatres have a 90-day window, it's a perfectly usable model, it's terrific. But obviously, since that recorded interview a few years ago, we know that Netflix have opened up to some theatrical runs before releasing on streaming, and with Nolan having meetings with them, maybe we might see an alternative, if and only if Netflix did extend theatrical runs before releasing on streaming. This seems to be what the head of original films at Netflix is getting at, but again, he does suggest that this could be a transition based on the current situation of the market. Now, you know that I personally support Nolan and theatrical presentation as well, but I must say it's interesting to see the director look at further options he may have going forward. He hasn't officially left Warner Brothers yet, but we know that there is tension between them and he is debating possibly leaving. So with the director pushing for theatrical preservation and looking at how he could also support the two worlds of theatrical and streaming in a healthy way, I do think that this is something that is needed. I personally want to see him join a studio like Paramount, Universal or Sony, but right now it does seem very open considering he has had conversations with Netflix over these issues. But that was the latest piece of information on Christopher Nolan's future studio and whether Netflix would be open to collaborating with the filmmaker. Again, I think what Warner Brothers did before was disrespectful to the filmmakers and the people working on the films, and there could have been more transparency before even considering a decision like they did. Some films are made to be seen on the big screen, and with all the effort and money that goes into them, along with the consistency that they can perform with, it would be a disservice to push them aside for a streaming service like HBO Max. But in the case of Netflix, if they do widen their theatrical to streaming gap, then there could be a strange possibility that Nolan would consider doing a film with them. Maybe not right now, but unless Warner Brothers show a greater commitment to theatrical presentation, then they may be losing one of their biggest filmmakers. We'll have to see what happens and what route Nolan takes, but I will be keeping you up to date regarding all of it on my channel. Let me know down below what your opinion is towards the comments of Scott Stuber, along with the studio that you think Christopher Nolan could end up working with. For more updates and content on the work of directors like Christopher Nolan, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.